Hey guys, it's Danny here taking over this week's video. I'm so excited to show you guys what I've been doing these past couple of weeks in revamping my room. But yeah, I'll keep this pretty short and sweet, so let's get right into it. The budget for this project was around $300, which might seem more or less to some people, but I honestly have not invested that much into my room, so it seemed pretty reasonable for me, and I wanted to split that evenly amongst storage items and then anything I needed to replace within my room, and of course some nice decor. So here was the original layout of my room. It really wasn't awful, but because I had the canopy and the ceiling fan, I couldn't really rearrange my room in any other order. So ideally I wanted to rotate my bed along the other wall and then move my shelf from where it is to where the filing cabinet is, and move the filing cabinet underneath my desk to free up even more space. And then I have these like randomly stacked luggage in the corner of my room just because everyone in my family dumps it in that corner, I guess, and I wanted to get rid of that and maybe put something else in that corner. And then I wanted to pull my drawer out from the closet into my main room just to free up some more closet space. So for the next few days I basically spent it cleaning up everything and finally taking down my princess bed. And I also packed up all these books that I've been keeping that I just haven't been reading, and I ended up donating them. I'm not sure if any of you guys can relate to this, but basically I have these gel stickers that I put on the side of my dresser when I was a kid. So I just spent the next 6 hours just slowly peeling them away, and thankfully I got them to come off, and this is the end result after all this cleaning and rearranging. So up next, I finally replaced those rainbow DIY curtains that my mom made for me when I was a kid, and I ended up picking up these $15 Walmart panel curtains. So after I had put up those Walmart curtains, I realized it made my windows look kind of bland and non-dimensional, so I actually ended up picking up these $20 sheer curtains off of Amazon. I'm literally obsessed with them. They have like this green floral embroidery along them, and honestly I feel like it lightens up the room so much more, and it adds like this pop of color that goes really well with like my mint green walls, and honestly could not have been more happy with how well these turned out. Next, I wanted to figure out what to fill that luggage corner with, so I ended up going to Ikea with my cousin, and I decided that I wanted to fill it with a mirror. This is the mirror that I originally wanted. It was super wide and it was like pretty tall, but they actually ran out of stock the moment I got there. So I actually ended up going with this mirror. It actually was way cheaper. It was only $15, but it was a lot skinnier and shorter. But my cousin actually came up with this genius idea to use my super old art easel stand from when I was a kid. So we ended up basically putting the mirror right on top of the stand, and it actually held it perfectly, and I can adjust the height if I wanted to. But honestly, I cannot be happier with how well this actually turned out. I picked up some other things from Ikea decor wise and storage wise. So I picked up these two frames, this plant, these two buckets. So I like to keep my desk pretty clear, so I actually filled these buckets with some bags that held like my stationery, some wires, some more electronics, and like other stuff that I don't really need at the moment or sitting right at my desk. I just personally like things more out of sight, out of mind, and I'll go get it if I really need it. So this next part I found really challenging in figuring out how to make a shelf in a more aesthetic way. I tried to Pinterest so many things, and this is kind of what I ended up with. A lot of the stuff is actually stuff that I have around my house, or they were like gifts that friends had given to me that I just ended up using as decor. As you can see, I'm literally using my dad's old film camera, but honestly, look for things that are like around your house that you can maybe put together somehow, and I'm sure it will like work out, because this is the best I can do, but honestly I didn't think it was that bad. The stuff I did pick up from Ikea though was like that plant that was only about like $7, and then those frames were only about like $3 total combined. honestly, just like play around with like what you have, because that's majority of this shelf, so I'm sure you guys all can do it too. I also ended up picking up these 2 storage boxes from Ikea for $25 like total. Don't come for me, I know they don't fit in the shelf. My cousin already laughed at me for that, but honestly it fits everything I needed them to. This is basically how my shelves came out. I know they're like probably very far from perfect. I did my best, tried to Pinterest so many things, but honestly I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Next up, I got rid of this horrendous looking fan. It has this like ugly chain, and the people who lived here before us didn't want to pay for like the wiring to be on the inside of the wall, in case you were wondering. But yeah, basically I just had my dad take this down, and honestly it made the room look 10 times better than anything else I did to it. So we're literally nearing the end, but I ended up picking out these designs off of Etsy. You just purchase them and then you get like a downloadable link. I also will put in the description box down below the specific artists I used off of Etsy. So I actually picked up these prints off of Walgreens. They're having like this summer sale for like 50% off, which was such a steal because I got pretty big size postered prints. Like they were like 16 by 20s, and I got all 3 of them for $25 total. So definitely check out your local printing center and to see like what deals are going on. So I actually got these frames at such a great deal too from Joann Fabrics. They were only about like $15 each, and they're like this beautiful white wood. And I basically just used, you know, the old dorm hack of using command strips to put them up, and I think they turned out great. So here is the final look of the room. I am so happy with how it came out. I think it turned out really great, if I do say so myself. It just feels so much more put together. And honestly it just feels so much more spacious and open, and when I wake up in the morning it honestly lifts my mood, so that's just been really great. I just absolutely love the detailing in the curtains. I think that's my favorite part with the embroidery. Honestly, the main tips I could just like give anyone is just like really be patient, because there were so many things that were just out of stock for me, and if I was like impatient I would have probably spent a lot more money than I did. So honestly just like look around, like use other resources than just Amazon. Like I looked at Joann Fabrics and other art supply stores, so you just really never know what you'll find, but you really have to look, I'm not gonna lie. Also, just like another quick piece of advice is just really picking like staple pieces for your room, because honestly I don't think I really bought that many things, but I bought like really nice like staple pieces that I feel like made a really big difference. But yeah, that basically concludes my extreme room makeover. I feel like I can do so much more work now that it's so much less cluttered. And I will just quickly mention that I'm so happy to say that I did stay in budget. I spent a total of $282, which I didn't really break down a lot of the pricing throughout this video just because I don't think it's that interesting to know how much I spent at a storage box from Walmart. But yeah, that basically concludes my video. I'm so happy if you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Danny, you should like hang like things on here. No, I mean like, what if you hang towels or blankets on here?